There's this wonderful Zen story that I love about these two monks, a senior monk and a junior monk. And they're walking back to the temple through the forest, and they come to this stream. And there's a geisha girl that wants to uh, cross the stream, but she's in all of her finery, so she won't cross the water, of course. And the junior monk, his mind is just going about how she, we can't touch this woman, and she's looking for help, and we can't help her. That's part of our vows. And the senior monk just picks her up, walks her across the stream, drops her off, and just keeps on walking. And the junior monk, he kind of goes off in his mind about this. And he's thinking about all the things like, we can't do that, and I can't believe he did that, and um, I'm going to have to tell the master when we get back to the temple, and I can't believe the predicament he's put me in, and I can't believe this whole situation happened, and what's going to happen to him, and so forth and so on. And then the senior monk eventually um, says to the junior monk, is everything okay? You seem um, like your mind is busy. And the junior monk says, well, I can't believe you picked up that geisha and that you touched her and carried her across the water. And the senior monk says, do you mean the geisha that I put down an hour ago? I can't believe you're still carrying her. So the story is obviously, it's about carrying things that we should be putting down. Technically, I guess it's really about carrying something about someone else, which is a great entry point for this conversation because that is what we do. We often carry things that aren't even ours. We carry things for loved ones, we carry things for strangers, and we pack them around in our minds and our bodies, sometimes for a long time. And the interesting thing about it is how, like, the kind of sort of sticky, draining kind of energy that this is for us. So when we're carrying something that's not ours, it takes energy to carry it, just like carrying anything physical. It takes energy to carry it. It takes mental energy and it takes emotional energy to carry things that you don't need to carry. In this story, it's very simple to see that nothing sort of came out of it. Everything was hunky dory, but the junior monk just kept carrying it. Now the junior monk's carrying it because he's living by all these rules about uh, what it means to be a monk and sort of the agreements that they've made with the religion. For us, it's sometimes the same. Sometimes it's the rules that we've made up or rules that we agree with or what have you. So that one area to look at with this is, what am I carrying that's not even mine? Just distinguishing what is mine and what is someone else's. And that can be really valuable in and of itself. Because there's just like in the parable, if the senior monk is not carrying it, there's absolutely no reason for the junior monk to be carrying it. And even if the senior monk is carrying something, the junior monk doesn't need to be carrying it at all because it wasn't his in the first place. So the work would then fall onto the senior monk in letting it go. But obviously in the story, the senior monk had put the geisha down, and with the geisha, all the energy with it, and just continued on. So I think it can be really useful to look into what it is that we're hanging on to that's not ours. So distinguish, what's yours, what's someone else's. Then the next step or another area is to actually just look into what are we carrying that we really don't need to, that it is serving us in no way, shape, or form. These can be thoughts, they can be beliefs, they can be memories, they can be Dreams, sometimes we carry dreams and we actually don't have any real desire to fulfill them, but we carry the dream still, and then we use the dream's unfulfilled uh, promise as a way to beat ourselves up. So as a way to make ourselves feel bad or shame ourselves or should ourselves. Um, and then comes the sort of trickier bit. It can be tricky if because it's kind of a sticky energy, is the letting go. Are you willing to let it go? Um, so then the question becomes, how do we let it go? Is sometimes just realizing that you're carrying it is enough to say, oh wow, I can't believe I'm still carrying this. And sometimes just bringing that to light just releases it. And then sometimes, you have to actually do work around it. In coaching, we refer to it as a completion, which we do with our clients all the time. But if you don't have a coach, writing is a great way to do it. Because things that are in our head are often different than they are once we bring them to paper or once we speak them into being. One of the most valuable things I always found with my coach was as soon as I would say whatever the thing was that was in my head, it would completely change. In my head, it was so real and so significant. And then I would bring it forward, I would say it, and as soon as it's out, it's almost like putting something on a table. Then you could see it, and then all of a sudden, oh my goodness, wow, this is nothing like actually what I thought it was. Because inside, things seem really significant, and and then when we bring them out there, they're actually not as significant. They're also much easier to deal with once they're out. Once just trying to work them in our heads, sometimes it gets too. There are too many side channels where we can lose it. So writing or speaking it is often the most valuable. Free writing, journal writing, where you just float away, or handwriting. Guess I didn't mention it. I always do it on the computer, but I have a friend who always does it by hand. That's a way to get it out as well. Sometimes you can talk to other people, get it out with other people. Sometimes that's really valuable. The tricky bit there is if the person you're talking to enjoys the sticky nature of hanging on to things, then they're not really useful because they're going to find some reason for you to continue to hang on to this or continue to spend a bunch of time thinking about it. When really all you're wanting to do is just release yourself from it so that you can, as the senior monk did, just continue on your walk. So that's the invitation for today. Take a peek, create some quiet space. Take a peek at what you're carrying that isn't yours, and then look at what you're carrying that is yours that you really is no longer serving you. Thank you.